Perilous as they begin a four-game set versus their fiercest rival, the Boston Red Sox. The Sox have reloaded, adding the powerful Manny Ramirez. Next, it's Ramirez and the Red Sox versus El Duque and the Yankees right here on Fox 5. It's New York Yankees baseball right here on Fox 5. The Red Sox and the Yankees begin a four-game series here in Boston. And the pitching matchups for this evening in the first game, Orlando El Duque Hernandez making his second start of this year. And he will be opposed by the rookie right-hander Paxton Crawford going against this World Championship Ball Club. Big weekend here in Boston with the marathon being run this coming Monday. But the Red Sox and the Yankees begin a four-game series tonight here at Fenway. Hello, everybody. I'm Bobby Mercer along with my partner, Tim McCarver. Welcome to New York Yankees baseball here on Fox 5. Well, this year we have an unbalanced schedule. You've heard about that. It's 19 games between the Red Sox and the Yankees this year. That hasn't happened in a long, long time. Let's take a look at the schedule. The Red Sox and the Yankees, as we said, begin that four-game series tonight. Then the Red Sox travel to New York next weekend for a three-game series, 19 games in all throughout this year. And the next set of series between the Red Sox and the Yankees will begin mid-May. Well, the Red Sox, Tim, scored only 792 runs last year. That was third lowest in the American League. So what did they do? They got on the free agent market, went out and got one of the most feared hitters in all of baseball, Manny Ramirez.
And there's no question about Manny Ramirez enhancing any lineup. As a matter of fact, this year, the first pitch he saw at Fenway Park from Ryan Root of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, he homered. His only home run of the year, but Red Sox fans can be sure that he'll have many to add on to that home run total. Look at the RBI production over the last 3 years. No major leaguer has produced like Manny Ramirez of the Red Sox.
Boy, and he fits well in this lineup along with Garcia Parra when he gets back and Carl Everett. They've got some offense now, this Red Sox team does. Well, it's a big four-game series, and it's Tim McCarver, Bobby Mercer coming up for the first pitch right here on Fox 5. Stay with us.
So, for your new Toyota spokesman, we're looking for...
Ooh, someone famous. An action guy. What's this woman?
Tom or Meg?
Wait, what about me? Me and my dog Baxter could do it.
How about a cartoon character?
Better yet, let 4Runner speak for itself with $1,000 cash back plus a $1,500 price reduction. That's $2,500 in savings on a new 4Runner.
Me and Baxter. Child actor.
Supermodel.
I'll set up
Auditions right away.
At least they agree on the 4Runner savings. See your Toyota dealer today.
Speed Pass from Mobile. Now you can refuel inside the store, too. It's another way Mobile keeps you ahead.
Take me fishing, because our boat's cooler than any video game.
Take me fishing, and make me feel 16 again.
Take me fishing, because I miss my boy.
Hey, how was your business trip to Chicago?
Good. How was your week off?
Great. My friends and I went to the beach.
Really?
Yeah, we rented from Hertz.com. Found their best rates, special offers, and it was real easy to use, too.
Maybe we should try it this weekend.
We.
New York Yankees baseball on Fox 5 is brought to you at Ford 5. Your tri-state quality Ford store, home to 5 of the 10 of the best sellers in America. 5 Budweiser with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you. And by Wendy's, the best hamburgers in the business, and a whole lot more. By by your local Toyota dealer. Well, it is turned off. Beautiful here in New England. You can see the sunshine is out. It had been overcast this morning. A little drizzle, a little haze in the area, but it's a beautiful night for baseball as the right-hander rookie Paxton Crawford begins his warm-up toss. So let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Yankees. Brought to you by McDonald's. In left field, he'll get his first look at the Green Monster out there. Chuck Knobloch, Derek Jeter at shortstop. Paul O'Neill in right field. The designated hitter is David Justice. Jorge Posada, who has been on a tear back in the lineup tonight. The Yankees are glad that his back is allowing him to play. Tino Martinez at first base. Michael Coleman back in center field. Bernie Williams still with his father in Puerto Rico. Alfonso Soriano, who has gotten hot with the bat at second base, and Scott Brocious, who has really been on a tear early in the season.
And we'll take a look at the Red Sox Lincoln Mercury defensive lineups. Troy O'Leary in left, Carl Everett in center, Trot Nixon the right fielder, Sean Hillebrand the third baseman, Mike Lansing at short, Jose Offerman the second baseman, Brian Daubach over at first, Scott Hatteberg behind the plate this evening, and Paxton Crawford on the mound. Paxton was 2-1 last year in 4 starts and had a very, very impressive start this year, working 7 innings, striking out 9 and walking 1. One of the very few young rookie pitchers that the Red Sox have had in the rotation over really the last 4 or 5 decades.
They haven't produced a whole lot of pitching in this organization for a long, long time. As Chuck Knobloch steps in, we are about ready to go. And the first pitch is a fastball down low. Knobloch batting .225. No home runs and 5 RBIs, but more importantly, Chuck has 4 stolen bases already. And that pitch in there for a called strike. Now it's 1-1. Both ball clubs off to a fast start here in the new millennium. The Red Sox taking care of Baltimore last night. Their record 6-3. And that pitch is fouled back and out of play. And of course, the Yankees ran their record as 7-2 as they swept the Kansas City Royals, and 6 times that they played them. Joe Torre, Mel Stottlemyre, very happy with what they have seen so far. Derek Jeter is back and starting to hit the ball like Derek Jeter knows how. That was an off-speed pitch, and one of his good pitches, Tim, is that changeup that he'll use.
That was a slider right there, but Paxton has a very, very good changeup. Moving fastball, a developing curve, says Jason Varitek, who is not behind the plate today. Excellent off-speed pitch.
Jammed him, slow roller, left side. Tough play for Hillenbrand, and he makes the play. One of the bright spots for this Red Sox ball club has been Shea Hillenbrand at third base, and what a job he has done for the injured Valentin.
Good play right here. Once Crawford can't get to the ball, comes imperative for Hillenbrand to make the play, and Shea does it very well.
There's 2 things the Yankees don't like about this young man right here. One is he's playing some great baseball for the Red Sox. The other is his name is Shea. Batting now is Derek Jeter. DJ just getting in the groove after being placed back on this roster with 3 RBIs. 1 out here in the top of the first. Good swing and a foul back and out of play.
Well, the Red Sox and their fans certainly would not like the third baseman for the Red Sox if his name was Yankee Hillenbrand.
I think Shea has a different meaning, you know what I'm saying? At least for the Yankee fan. Paxton tried to go inside and misses. Paxton, as we mentioned, a rookie. As you can see the series as Jeter begins to heat up offensively for the Yankees. One thing you got to like about the young man is that he works quickly. He knows what he wants to do. He's got an idea. Once he gets the ball back, he's looking at the catcher and for a sign. Not wasting any time. 6'3", 205-pounder out of Arkansas. There's that breaking ball again, and there's Hillenbrand at third. 2 gone for the Yankees. That'll bring up Paul O'Neill.
That was a good sequence of pitching, working Derek Jeter. Fastballs inside, 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 and then he went to the slider low and away, and Derek reaching and grounding out harmlessly to Hillenbrand.
Batting third,
Joe Kerrigan has seen the Boston pitchers. He's the pitching coach for the Red Sox. He's seen his staff win the American League earned run title the last 2 years, in '99 and the year 2000. The Red Sox with the best pitching in the American League.
Helped greatly by Pedro Martinez.
Oh, yeah.
And that minuscule earned run average that he always puts up every year. What a matchup for tomorrow's game. That pitch down low and outside to Paul O'Neill with Roger Clemens and Pedro Martinez duking it out here at Fenway in an afternoon contest. We'll have that game for you right here on Fox 5. You don't want to miss that one. And the off-speed pitch, the pitch down low for a ball, so that runs the count to 2 balls and no strikes with 2 men out, and David Justice awaiting on deck.
That was a straight change to Paul O'Neill, and usually a right-handed pitcher will reserve the changeup for the left-handed batters. Rarely do you see too many right-handed pitchers throwing straight changes to right-handed hitters. They'll rely on the breaking ball going away from the right-handers.
Well, he comes back to the hard stuff and just paints the outside corner on a pitch that all your great pitchers will say you got to make them if you're going to win any games, and that's that 2-0 behind pitch.
When you're behind in the count 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, you want to stay away from the left-handed batter, generally speaking.
Well, he just blew that one by O'Neill, high and outside. That would be the count up at 2-2.
Take a look at the scouting report on Paxton Crawford. A funky motion, a good changeup and slider, and a developing curveball. That's our Budweiser scouting report on the 6'3" right-hander.
Fans already into it. As O'Neill fouls that one, knock it out of play. You can already see the first 3 batters in this Yankee lineup, how Paxton is approaching these hitters, moving the balls inside and outside, not staying with one pattern and changing speeds.
And I think your observation, Bobby, about him working quickly, first time we've seen Crawford. But when a young pitcher or an older pitcher works quickly, they exude confidence.
And the off-speed pitch down low, that runs the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes on O'Neill.
We talked about that funky motion of Paxton, high leg kick, and right there, that stiff left leg. Upon release, he's very, very difficult to pick up. Ball's on top of you in a hurry.
Red Sox number 9 pick in June of '95. And another pitch foul back out of play. That looked like that slider that he ran in on the hands of O'Neill, trying to tie him up. Well, the umpiring crew tonight: Mark Carlson behind home plate, Tim Tashita at first base, Jerry Davis at second, and Rich Riker at third. El Duque will try to bounce back from his first start tonight as he lost to the Blue Jays. That pitch is up high for ball 4, and the Yankees have their first base runner. Jimmy Williams in his 4th year with this Boston Red Sox ball club. They last year won 85 games and finished 2 behind the Yankees. They felt like adding Manny Ramirez, and if they can just get somebody to back up Pedro Martinez, they think they can make up those games against the Yanks this year. We'll just have to wait and see. They're going to have plenty of games to do it in with this unbalanced schedule.
That's why it's so important to develop a young right arm like Paxton Crawford. It's imperative for organizations to continue to develop pitchers.
Good pitch on the outside corner. Justice now down 0-1. Justice batting .412 early on this year and has a home run and 8 RBIs. That's outside. That'll even the count up at 1-1. One of the tough parts of this ball club is in right field, and especially when you have a 6:05 start. The sun is right in the eyes of the right fielder. It'll take probably a couple more innings before that sun sets behind Fenway. Right now, Nixon has got to fight the sun along with Paul O'Neill when he gets out there for New York.
Trot Nixon standing in the shadow of Lou Piniella out there in right field. 1978, the great play that Lou Piniella made that saved the game for the Yankees. The Bucky Dent home run game. Bucky's home run off Mike Torres that people in this area will never, ever forget. Take it to the grave.
Pretty much the start of this dynasty that the Yankees have built since that 78 series. And Lou saying to this day he didn't know how he caught it. He just thought he was in the right spot. He put the glove there and the ball went in.
Was he ever in the right spot?
Yeah. You know, it's such a helpless feeling, too. I've been in those situations where you got the sun in your eyes and you know the ball's there, but you cannot see it. It's embarrassing, too. Good pitch on the outside corner to leave the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
There he is again. You saw him throw the fastball away to Paul O'Neill on a 2-0 count. And that's a 2-seam fastball going away from David Justice. David thought it was outside, a very close pitch. Red Sox got the call.
There goes O'Neill, and the pitch is fouled just off to the left side. Nice move by Willie Randolph at third. Willie still got those moves, doesn't he?
He was always quick.
Well, he could move around second base. I'll tell you, he had as good of moves around that bag as anybody.
Trying to have some of that rub off on Alfonso Soriano, and it is.
It is. You're right. The count remains at 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 men out here in the top of the first. This time, Paxton takes a longer look at O'Neill at first. The Yankees, along with the Red Sox, not really a running ball club. This time it's hit, and it's smothered by Daubach at first. And Daubach takes a base hit away from Justice. They played a half an inning. Yankees leave a man on. Here comes El Duque to face the Red Sox coming up here at the bottom of the first.
Ford Windstar is the first minivan to earn the government's highest quadruple 5-star safety rating. Sleep tight. Now get a Windstar and get 0-9 financing for 60 months or $2,000 cash back. Visit your Tri-State Quality Ford store today.
A beer is only as good as the ingredients used to brew it. That's why Budweiser uses only the finest all-natural ingredients, hand-selected to deliver a taste, a smoothness, and a drinkability you won't find in any other beer at any price.
This one's for you, and you, and you, and you. This one's for you.
This is a bucket of water, and this is Goodyear's new and improved AquaTread 3.
At higher speeds in a downpour, a set of AquaTread 3 tires pumps away over 6 gallons of water per second. That's over 360 gallons per mile, with its 80,000-mile tread life limited warranty. That's a lot of water. Think about it next time it's pouring buckets. New AquaTread 3. Only from Goodyear.
Goodyear, Goodyear.
Jerry's show is on the air, and everyone's watching.
Oh, he's horrible, horrible.
What a sellout. Give me that remote.
Did anyone not like him?
On the next Seinfeld.
Tonight at 11 on Fox 5.
El Duque taking his warm-up tosses to face this Boston Red Sox starting lineup, brought to you by McDonald's. In right field, Trot Nixon, Jose Offerman will follow. Then Carl Everett, the former Yankee, batting third. Manny Ramirez, the designated hitter. Troy O'Leary, the left fielder. Scott Hatteberg behind home plate. Shea Hillenbrand at third. Brian Daubach at first. And Mike Lansing, the shortstop.
Our Lincoln Mercury Yankee defense, the first time Chuck Knobloch has played left field here at Fenway Park. Michael Coleman, the ex-Red Sox farmhand in center field. Paul O'Neill in right. Brocious, Jeter, Soriano, Martinez in the infield. Jorge Posada, his 41st game in a row, catching Orlando Hernandez. And there is Chuck Knobloch. And behind him, a strange sight.
The famed Green Monster, and one of the toughest left fields to play is right here at Fenway, as Trot Nixon takes the first pitch from El Duque, low and outside for ball 1. El Duque's numbers 4 1/3 in his first start against Tampa Bay. Gave up a couple of home runs in that game as he threw 91 pitches. And this time he paints the outside corner for a called strike. Now it's 1-1. Nixon batting .200 with a couple of home runs and 6 RBIs. 2 for 13 lifetime versus El Duque. And the off-speed pitch swung on and missed. Now it's strike 2.
That looked like a changeup or a splitter from El Duque. Always experimenting, always trying to come up with new pitches, particularly to left-handed batters.
And what a great pitch if you got a great changeup or an off-speed pitch to a left-handed hitter, especially here at Fenway. And this pitch is lifted out into left field, so Knobloch will get the first batter to test him out, and he is perfect. So one gone for the Red Sox here at the bottom of the first. Fox 5 and the Toyota dealers. Well, let's take a look at this Knobloch play first. They're proud to present World Championship New York Yankee Baseball, now available on the SAP channel of your television. Please don't miss it. And there was no SAP or SAP on that fly ball. There is some wind at Fenway tonight, so that could cause some problems for the outfielders. Up high to Jose Offerman.
Yeah, the flag blowing toward the right field line. The ball expected to carry well into right field, but fortunately for the pitchers, not well into left. You've really got to thump one to get it over the monster tonight.
Yeah, we'll get a chance to talk more about that and maybe some of the things that Knobloch would be facing for the first time. He was here early this afternoon taking lots of ground balls and fly balls from the Lee Mazzilli, working with them and some of the different things that happen in left field here at Fenway. I've just never seen Knobloch smile as much as he is smiling these days, though. That's down low to Offerman. 2 balls and 2 strikes to him. Offerman with Carl Everett waiting on deck. Offerman has hit safely in all 7 games that he has started. And the off-speed pitch down low, ball 3, 3, and 2. Lots of injuries on this Red Sox club. Garcia Parra, John Valentin at third. On the outside corner, a late call by the home plate umpire, and Jose Offerman will take a look. And that will be recorded as the first strikeout for El Duque.
You remember the 2-1 pitch to David Justice? Justice thought it was outside. Offerman thinks that is outside. Bobby, you're right. There was a delayed call by home plate umpire Mark Carlson. Posada actually sitting off the plate outside. Carlson with that delayed call. The Yankees get the call.
And we've talked about this before. This is only our 3rd game of the year, but we've talked about the call on the outside part of the plate being more prominent this year, more so than the high strike that they're supposed to be calling.
And it was supposed to be the 2 combined, that umpires were going to be a little more deliberate, make pitchers get the ball over the corner instead of that phantom pitch an inch or 2 off the plate.
Swung on and missed at that pitch right in that area we were talking about is supposedly the new strike zone. So Carl Everett down 0-2.
Well, that's where American League pitchers try to pitch Carl Everett in tight, both as a right-handed batter and a left-handed. Again, inside.
And that's checked high and inside as you were talking about. So El Duque way out in front, no balls and 2 strikes, 2 men out. Everett with 34 home runs last year and 108 RBIs. To go along with Manny Ramirez this year. And of course Garcia Parra when he gets back. Pretty awesome offense that Jimmy Williams could put out there. That's down low.
That's a waste pitch right there, but you can bet that the Yankees throughout the season, throughout this series, will try to come back inside to Everett. The reason for that is right on top of the plate. See, that right foot is almost out of the batter's box, and that has been a subject of much debate as far as Carl Everett and the American League umpires are concerned.
Well, right now, I mean, you talked about it. They came right in to try to jam him again after wasting that off-speed pitch outside. You can see where he's standing. That is borderline at best. Of course, he's had his off-the-field problems with Jimmy Williams, the skipper. Down low and outside. His last argument, I guess you would say, was missing a bus in spring training. Got fined some $97,000. That is in dispute at this present time in the hands of an arbitrator. The highest. Did he go around? No, he did not. So now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. But he's got no love for the Yankees. Carl Everett. Everett was in the Yankee organization, a bright prospect. Dan Duquette looking on. The Yankees let him go in the expansion draft. Pitch foul back and out of play, and he has never forgotten it. But he can hit. As we told you, with those 34 home runs last year, 108 runs batted in. And he has hung tough here against El Duque to run the count to 3-2. Another pitch foul back and out of play. Manny Ramirez awaits on deck. Now low and outside, ball 4 with 2 men out.
Bobby, it's not unusual for the Red Sox to have headlines. Manny fakes left and goes right. That's talking about Manny Ramirez and whether he wants to play left or right. Everett punished for missing the bus again. That's twice. And Nomar Garciaparra, critical to this ball club. And I mean critical. 372 batter last year. And it's going to be tougher for Manny Ramirez to pick up the slack if Nomar's not there. He's there in spirit tonight, but not on the field. He'll be out until late June, early July.
Wearing that cast as the surgery has already been taken care of. The Red Sox, they don't run a whole lot. In fact, they have only 1 stolen base this year, and Carl Everett is the guy that has that stolen base. He's on his first. But with 2 outs, I don't know how many times he'll be running with Manny Ramirez at the plate. Already big numbers for Manny. Good swing there. The thing about Ramirez is that he's not a one-dimensional hitter. He can hit the ball to all fields. He can hit mostly all the pitches. Not just a dead pull hitter that you would think a Rico Petrocelli would be here, that he was here when at third base for the Red Sox back in the 60s and 70s.
You're right. He's a one-dimensional player, but he's not a one-dimensional hitter. He is not a good defensive player, not a good base runner, but he can flat hit.
And that's outside. Well, you heard a lot of players talk. Everybody compliments each other up and down the lineup. With a guy like Ramirez inserted in this lineup now, it just makes everybody a better hitter and a better player. Good pitch there, swung on and missed, down 1-2.
Good running situation right here, Bobby, because if the Yankees elect to pitch out, or if it's a ball, often you try to get Ramirez to chase a ball out of the strike zone. Now he's in the hole. Good time to send Carl Everett. Red Sox, generally speaking, though, are not a fast team.
Everett has speed. Ramirez. Duque thinking along the same lines as you, wants to keep him close. If you're going to take a chance, now would be the time to do it with the 2 strikes on Ramirez.
Yeah, a lot of times good base runners try to run on counts. For instance, if a guy is a bad ball swinger like Ramirez is, you try to get him to go after something bad. Often that pitch is in the dirt, or it's a pitch up and in. So if you think Hernandez is going to do that to the hitter, then it stands to reason it'd be a good running situation.
And there goes Everett. And the pitch is swung on, so Posada will have to throw the ball down to second base as El Duque strikes out a very dangerous hitter. We've played one here at Fenway. First game of 4. We'll be back.
Ooh, that one there.
Excellent choice.
It's all yours. A rocky day on Wall Street. Today's big loser, Enormitel, down 93%. In weather.
Well, hello.
Diversify your risk in virtually any sector. iShares Index Stocks. Ask your advisor.
Let's have lunch where fresh tastes better. Hot and juicy, let's go together.
When people want delicious variety made fresh, they turn to Wendy's 99-cent Super Value Menu.
It's there for you.
Let's have lunch at Wendy's.
Now Biggie size any Wendy's combo. You could win your choice of 3 exciting vacations at Universal Orlando Resort.
Is it too late to choose something else?
The Toyota dealers are here. Showtime.
Hi. Look, we need your help. You're a super agent. We need a spokesman.
Put me in an SUV and I'm your boy.
Hey, how about the all-new Highlander? Civilized comfort and a tough available V6. Or a Sequoia V8, seats 8 and has 10 cup holders.
So, our spokesman?
Sure. We'll start auditions. 10 cup holders. Hope it comes with a porta potty.
Nearly everything you need in an SUV at your Toyota dealer now.
Tomorrow, it's a classic rematch between two of baseball's greatest pitchers. It's Roger and the Yankees against Pedro and the Red Sox. Don't miss the showdown on the mound. Yankee baseball, tomorrow at 1 p.m. on Fox 5.
Welcome back to Fenway Park. I always love to say Park. Bobby Mercer along with Tim McCarver. Jorge Posada will lead it off for the Yankees here in the second inning. Good to see Jorge back in the lineup. He had to leave game a couple of games ago against the Kansas City Royals with a stiff lower back. And Jorge has just been on a tear offensively with 4 home runs and 14 RBIs. Those 14 runs batted in lead the American League. And Crawford's first pitch is a fine outside, ball 1.
Bobby, it's a subject of debate as to which Yankee the Yankees could not do without. But in my view, it's Jorge Posada. You can lose Roger Clemens. You can lose Mike Mussina. You can lose Derek Jeter, Paul O'Neill, Bernie Williams. And the Yankees could get along. You lost one of them. They cannot get along losing Posada.
Hit into right field, and coming on is Nixon. Nixon makes the play as the sunshine going down in right field. Well, the oldest park? Well, it is the oldest park in all of baseball, built back in 1912 here at Fenway, and of course outside of Yankee Stadium.
Number 24.
Yesterday, welcome home our American military crew, obviously the crew that was detained in China. They're back on U.S. territory, and a nice gesture by the New York Yankees welcoming home our military crew. We're glad that they're back and they're all safe. So 1 out, and Tino Martinez. Tino has done what I've always wanted to do, and that's work on my body and make sure it's in good shape. Only
you do that.
He did.
now, Bob, you do that.
Bill Webb, our director, said, and it shows too. And he's talking about me.
Yeah.
But look at Tino. He looks like an Adonis. And Tino out to prove something this year. He's out to prove everybody else wrong, that his bat is slowed down, that he has lost some of his skills to be able to produce offensively like he has. And
only thing that slowed Tino's bat down last year was his technique, not his body. Opening up too soon. Happens to a lot of hitters. And when you do that, it looks like your bat is slower. You keep that front shoulder in, as Tino is doing. Now, obviously, he's in probably the best shape he's ever been in, and you have to do that the older you get. Keep yourself in better physical condition before that front shoulder's been locked in so far.
It's well into center field. Everett Moves over to right center. 2 gone for New York. Besides offensively, Tino Martinez, one of the best, if not the best, first basemen in all of baseball.
You can see that swing right there from a body that looks identical to my partner,
the center fielder, Michael Coleman.
Looked like my swing, too. Tino is out. And Michael Coleman, who got a little bit of a boo here at Fenway, with Michael Coleman, used to be in the Red Sox organization. As Paxton Crawford delivers up high to him. We'll take a look at our Wendy's quote book. I think my last spring training, it was clear that Jimmy Williams was not going to make me a part of that squad. I couldn't see. Good breaking ball there. I couldn't see a reason why I wasn't a part of that team, and there's been an ongoing feud between Coleman and Jimmy Williams. Coleman claiming that Jimmy didn't give him a chance, and then when he sent him down, he didn't have the nerve to look me in the eye to tell me he was sending me down. Some pretty harsh words from Michael Coleman. A pretty good pitch from Paxton Crawford. 1 ball to 2 strikes.
There's that slider we were talking about. Scott Hatteberg sitting on the outside corner. Paxton Crawford, impressive so far. In and out, slider away, fastball inside. And now he has Coleman set up for that slider away again. Don't expand the plate necessarily. You expand the hitter's thinking back outside.
There he goes, back outside, and with some juice on it too as he strikes out Coleman. That makes a lot of Boston Red Sox fan here at Fenway very, very happy. He has been impressive, no doubt about it. No score here between the Yankees and the Red Sox.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Rain, stop. Traffic, yield. CD, play. Climate control, on.
The Infinity Q45 with voice-activated controls.
Lights, green.
The rest of the world should be so accommodating. The new Q from Infinity.
To be the best takes strength, speed, endurance. The best way to cure athlete's foot has it all. Lamisil AT. Strength, full prescription strength to stop the itching and burning. Speed, these take 4 weeks of treatment. Lamisil AT cures athlete's foot with just 1 week's use. Endurance, a study showed most users were still athlete's foot free 3 whole months later. Get it all in Lamisil AT, the best way to cure athlete's foot.
Reviewing our last fiscal year, the numbers from January were slightly better than the numbers from February. However, the numbers in January were identical to the numbers in March. The numbers in April were slightly lower than the numbers in March, but identical.
Like playing games? Come to Best Buy, where you can play the latest video games and try out a lot of other cool stuff. Best Buy. Go ahead, turn on the fun.
Drew and Mimi, don't touch the troll!
Is that what your mom used to say to your dates?
Together, they're bigger than anything.
For 800 pounds of trouble.
On the Drew Carey Show. Drew it 5 days a week.
Monday at 6:30 p.m. on Fox 5.
Welcome back to Fenway. We're at the bottom of the 2nd inning as the Red Sox come to bat against El Duque. El Duque struck out 2 in the 1st inning. Still no score. And Troy O'Leary swinging at the first pitch.
Not unusual for O'Leary. He has swung at 62% of the pitches that he's seen. That's 3rd in the American League. That's behind Davy Cruz of the Detroit Tigers and Darren Fletcher, the catcher of the Blue Jays. 0 for 20 to start the season, but 6 for his last 9. He's been on a tear, a mini tear, I might add.
Yeah, and 5 RBIs in the last 2 games. And you don't want to start off 0 and 20. And the off-speed pitch line right to Jeter at shortstop. 1 gone. Well, Jerry's show is on the air and everyone is watching. But are his friends laughing? You can watch Seinfeld tonight at 11 o'clock right here on Fox 5. Didn't look like he was laughing a whole lot, did it?
Funny man.
What a great show. One of our favorite shows here in the booth. So one gone, and Scott Hatteberg. And a breaking ball, that little looping curve ball right on the outside corner. A little bit surprised tonight that Hatteberg is starting behind the plate instead of Jason Varitek, one of the switch hitters.
I asked Varitek about that. He said Hatteberg caught the young Paxton Crawford his first time out. You got to play him sometime. Good time to do it the night before a day game. Varitek's going to do the majority of the catching for the Red Sox. Hatteberg will catch, unless Varitek gets hurt, he'll catch around 40 games or so.
1 ball, 2 strike count coming to Hatteberg. Outside for a ball. Now it's 1-2 or 2-2. Hatteberg 1 for 4 against Del Duque. Who knows, that one hit was a home run. So Varitek's lifetime average against Del Duque, not that good. Past Derek Jeter into center field for the first base hit of this ball game. So Hatteberg, nice choice by Jimmy Williams. That's the first hit. Well, we talk about the day game after the night game. We got a game for you tomorrow. Roger Clemens and Pedro Martinez. Now listen to this. 8 Cy Young Award between these two. I can't wait for tomorrow afternoon.
That's the most Cy Young Awards in the history of the game. 3 for Martinez, 1 last year, and 5 for Roger Clemens. Facing one another.
And they both like to pitch inside.
Yep. They'll do that.
They will do that for sure. Shea Hillenbrand now steps in. Hillenbrand with a 9-game hitting streak and has hit in all of the games for the Red Sox this year. This kid has come, and he has come to the big leagues in a hurry. Playing in Trenton last year, that's Double-A baseball. And he actually made this ball club out of spring training. Jimmy Williams liked what he saw. He has hit in the minor leagues. And with John Valentin on the disabled list and not at third base, they were looking for somebody. Garcia Parra goes down, so there's an opening for Hillenbrand, and he could cut the mustard in spring training, and he won himself a job. Hatteberg, no stolen bases this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to run unless it's part of a hit and run. But Hillenbrand is a hacker. He has not walked yet this year. Last year, he went through 33 games, 33 straight games without drawing a walk. And that's a very, very important category when a pitcher or a catcher looks at a minor league record of a player they're playing against now. You don't know much about him. You hear all the scouting reports, high ball hitter, all that stuff. The one key thing is if you see 19 walks and 529 plate appearances, you know he's a free swinger. Like that
one, yeah. And so the only play for Tino is to go to Jeter to cut the run off at second, so 2 down.
That's what we're talking about. You saw how far that ball was outside. That ball 6 inches off the plate. No hit and run here. The Hillenbrand right there. Once major league pitchers find out you have a weakness for balls off the plate, why throw it over the plate?
It produces an out. You know, it's pretty typical for young hitters to be very aggressive at home plate.
Nowadays it is.
It's really one of those things that it takes a while for you to get your feet planted on the ground at home plate and know what you want to do and have an idea when you go to home up there to look in a zone for yourself. Give yourself a decent chance percentage-wise. Brian Daubach, dangerous hitter.
It didn't used to be like that, though, Bobby. Used to be coming up from the minor leagues, you'd see a lot of young hitters with twice as many walks as strikeouts. You almost never see that anymore. The one guy that Tony Muser saw it from was Mike Sweeney, the fine first baseman of the Royals. More bases on balls than strikeouts. That's a key category for minor leaguers coming to the big leagues, and Hillenbrand one of them with a lopsided walk-to-strikeout ratio.
Outside corner, strike 2. You know, both of these ball clubs have new hitting instructors. Take another look at this strike. Of course, the Yankees with Gary Denbo, their new hitting instructor. Jim Rice was here for so many years for the Red Sox. Rick Down, the former Yankee, is now over for Boston. There's Gary. A lot of good things have been said already about Denbo and how he has helped Brocious and Martinez and Jeter. And swing and a miss. Actually was tipped into the glove of Posada. And that's the third strikeout for El Duque. So El Duque looks impressive along with the young rookie Ryan. No score here at Fenway. We'll be back right after this.
So for your new Toyota spokesman, we're looking for...
Ooh, someone famous. An action guy. Who's this woman?
Tom or Meg?
Wait, what about me? Me and my dog Baxter could do it.
How about a cartoon character?
Better yet, let 4Runner speak for itself with $1,000 cash back plus a $1,500 price reduction. That's $2,500 in savings on a new 4Runner.
Me and Baxter. Child actor.
Supermodel.
I'll set up auditions right away.
At least they agree on the 4Runner savings. See your Toyota dealer today.
Forget the news at 11.
This is beyond news. This is like Pearl Harbor or the Kennedy assassination.
Watch the news at 10. Then watch Seinfeld at 11.
I think it's a fantastic idea.
The news at 10 and Seinfeld at 11. Tonight, only on Fox 5.
MSG Network, home of New York Yankees baseball.
Strike 3. A home run for Jeter, and he makes the catch. Oh! Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Would you look at that? It is gone. This game is over.
MSG Network. It's more than just a game.
No score here in the top of the third inning. We told you about the matchup tomorrow. Pedro Martinez and Roger Clemens. And the Red Sox fans saying arigato to Hideo Nomo for his no-no. Second game of the season back on April 4th as Alfonso Soriano leads it off for the Yankees here in the third inning.
And the guy that could probably, well, he's the only guy that I know that can speak their language is at the plate now, Soriano.
Right. Even though Alfonso is from the Dominican Republic. He was drafted by the Japanese League. Japanese scouts were in the Dominican. They loved Soriano. The Yankees got wind of him. Soriano wanted to come to the United States to play. New York signed him. And his first 3 hits in the big leagues were home runs. What a night he had the other night in Kansas City. Yankees off yesterday, but on Wednesday night, Soriano 4 for 4 against the Royals. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Alfonso.
Well, you were talking about walks as compared to at-bats. Soriano has no walks this year.
Oh, yeah. You know, he's not going to walk a lot, but he'll do that.
Yeah.
5 straight hits for Soriano. He's the leadoff base runner here in the third inning, and that'll bring up Scott Brocious.
One of the things that Gary Denbo obviously has been working with Soriano on
Batting 9, number
is going to the opposite field.
The third baseman.
Especially with 2 strikes. Protecting outside, Scott Brocious, Soriano, and Paul O'Neill spraying hits all over the place, using the other side of the field. There are very few good big league hitters that are pull hitters in this day and age.
You know, I would think, Tim, that the bottom of the Yankee order, after watching Crawford and how he worked through the first, 6 batters, get some idea how he's going to work the hitters. And we noticed the inside, no particular pattern, working inside, outside, changing speed.
Soriano, along with Jeter and Knobloch, represent speed in the Yankee lineup. Joe Torre thinks Soriano's got a chance in 500 at bats to steal 30 or 35 bases a year. He has that type speed. Not running here. The Red Sox thought he was. So 1 ball and no strikes now to Brocious.
And another dimension that Soriano can bring, because when you get on base and you have speed like that, well, the pitcher can't always concentrate totally on the hitter. He's got to worry about the runner. So it adds another element offensively.
Soriano faked at first base. Crawford's pitch is low to Brocious. 2 balls and no strikes to Scott.
One of the reasons I think that Scott Brocious is off to a fast start this year, not only has he been working with Gary Denbo, with Soriano on at first base as many times as he's been there, he gets more fastball, and he's looking to hit the ball behind the runner.
Again, a fake break by Soriano, and again, a ball out of the strike zone to Brocious. So 3 balls and no strikes to Scott Brocious. There's a strike, 3-1. Yankees and the Red Sox playing each other 19 times this year. The last time they played each other, as many as 19 times, 1960. There goes Soriano, and this one fouled back. 3-2 now to Scott. So if Soriano was running 3-1, he'll run 3-2.
1960.
Yeah.
Well, everybody applauding baseball, you know, going back to the unbalanced schedule, because Joe Torre complained, you know, the last 2 or 3 years, the fact that they didn't play enough times within their own division. If you're going to have to beat somebody, you got to play more games against the guys that you play in your division.
There goes Soriano. Brocious fouls it off again, so still 3-2 to Scott.
And I think you know, Red Sox, everybody else relishes the opportunity now to play the Yankees more time, because the Yankees, they have the target on them. I mean, they've got the bullseye. Everybody is targeted the Yankees to beat them if they're going to get to the World Series.
Pitching matchups for the weekend. Roger Clemens, Pedro Martinez tomorrow at 1:05. We'll be on the air at 1 o'clock. Andy Pettit, the left-hander, against Tadeo Nomo. And then Mike Mussina going for the Yankees on Monday. And this one outside, so Brocious walks with Soriano running. So the Yankees threatening here in the top of the 3rd inning. Well, there's nothing funny about paying your taxes. So this Sunday, don't. No, I was only kidding. So this Sunday, Fox guarantees you a night of comedy relief. Catch the Simpsons Sunday at 8 o'clock right here on Fox 5. Sunday is time to whip out, big boy. Got to pay your taxes.
Actually, you got till
That's
Tuesday.
right.
You got till midnight Monday, I think.
Midnight Monday,
yeah.
right.
Because of a holiday.
Yep. Sunday and the IRS day come on the same day. Here's Knobloch with 2 on and nobody out in the 3rd of the scoreless ball game, and a good slider from Crawford. Strike 1 to Chuck, who grounded to 3rd on a nice play by Hillenbrand in the 1st inning.
Some of these young hitters can go to school off of Chuck Knobloch and how he approaches the strike zone.
Little looper down the right field line. Nixon playing Knobloch perfectly, and because he was so shallow, Soriano forced to hold at 2nd. 1 out.
Nixon, the best outfielder out of O'Leary. Not Carl Everett. Everett's the best outfielder with the most speed out there, but Nixon really covers a lot of ground. And like you said, who would have ever thought that Knobloch would be played as shallow in right field as Nixon played him? So with that, they save a run.
Now, outfield positioning, as you know, Bobby, so much more important than infield positioning, because you've got more room to cover in the outfield. Here's Jeter.
And you know, here at Fenway, right field is the toughest place to position yourself because of the spaciousness out there. We got more nooks and crannies in this old ballpark than you can shake a stick at. You got to really be careful when the ball's up against the wall and rolling around.
You hear that term in football, coffin corner. They have a couple of coffin corners here at Fenway Park.
They also got that Bermuda Triangle out in center field too, which is the deepest part of this ballpark.
Balls seem to go in that area and just disappear, don't they?
Yeah. And never are found again.
Right. Inside to Jeter. 2 balls and no strikes to Jeter. We talked about Paxton Crawford, his second start as a rookie. He only pitched 29 innings last year. He's the only, check that, the only Red Sox rookie to make 25 starts since 1970 was Dana Kicker back in 1990. He had 25 starts. Inside corner, you might think, hey, what about Roger Clemens? When Clemens came to the Red Sox in 1984, he was in 21 games but only started 20. And then, of course, was to explode onto the scene in 1985. So the Red Sox have really had a tough time with young pitchers over the last 3 decades. Two balls, a strike to Jeter, 2 on. Even though Soriano is on at second, Crawford giving him a look, and we've seen Joe Torre and Don Zimmer put the hit and run on in situations like this with Jeter before. Nothing doing. 3-1 now. Jeter in a good hitting position here.
Well, the whole game has changed now since the runner has gotten on at first base. Crawford seems to start to nibble now with runners on at first. Doesn't want to make a mistake, and his whole pattern has changed a bit. But one of the things that the Red Sox liked about him when he jumped from Double-A to the majors was his poise on the mound and how he handled situations such as this here.
Line to left center base hit. Soriano's going to score. Grosh's tried for third. Jeter to second. 1-0 Yankees, and poor throwing by Carl Everett in center field. Giving Jeter second base. And if you give a good base runner second base, he'll take it. And Jeter does it all the time.
Everett came up throwing, and he really didn't have a chance for Brocious at third. And Jeter, watch him, he just takes advantage of every little thing that they do. That's what the Yankees have been known to do, though. Jeter, he's got eyes on going to second base. He watches the height of the throw, knowing that the throw is over the head of the cutoff man, and he just cruises into second.
Paul O'Neill, the batter. First base is open. 1-0 Yankees, only 1 out. This one popped up. Hatteberg with a play and makes it. 2 outs. So O'Neill fails to plate the run from third base with less than 2 outs, and that'll bring up David Justice.
That pitch up and in on Paul, and he just never got the bat head out on it.
Number 28.
And it jammed him. I don't know if, you know, in those situations, you just don't, just goes to show you a professional hitter like Paul O'Neill would be zoning in a pitch that he knows that he can drive there and not swing at a pitch that he knows that he can't handle. But he got a little bit anxious.
Older players get anxious just like younger players.
You don't seldom see that from a guy like Paul O'Neill.
David Justice grounded to first, his first at bat, so 2 on and 2 out now. 1-0, the Yanks with a run in here, and this one tapped toward first. Dog back to Crawford. So for the Red Sox, Crawford gives up 1 run, but it could have been much worse as Derek Jeter drives in the only run of the ball game. After 2.5 here at Fenway, first meeting of the year, 1-0 New York.
What are you doing to my street?
Even though it's the best-selling sport utility vehicle in the world, not everybody is thrilled with Ford Explorer's legendary 4x4 off-road capabilities. Get a Ford Explorer 4-door and get 1.9 financing for 60 months or up to $2,000 cash back. Visit your Tri-State Quality Ford store today.
I hate the street.
Beer is like a natural food product. The fresher it is, the better it tastes. That's why Budweiser has 12 local breweries right here in the United States. So you know our beer will always be fresh.
This was for you. And you and you and you. This was for you.
Come on, they're not in the house. I'm going to give you a serious timeout.
Honey, we're pregnant.
Oh, okay. What?
Pipe down! I can't hear my show.
If you're ready for a bigger home, we'll help you get a bigger loan. At Washington Mutual, we write our own approval rules. That's the power of yes.
Dad, exchange students here.
Fun at Fenway this Easter weekend, and the Red Sox had a lot of fun when Hideo Nomo pitched the no-hitter, the second game of the season. This brilliant play by Mike Lansing, who was the second baseman that night. Was Nomo ever happy he was? Lansing saving what surely would have been a base hit with a lot of second basemen. Mike playing shortstop tonight, and he leads it off here in the third with the Yankees on top 1-0.
The Red Sox and the Red Sox fans have a lot of hope at this present time. It's because of Nomo. Looks like he is back on track again, obviously, and then Paxton Crawford.
Fly ball, right field. Easy play for O'Neill. One pitch, one out here in the third.
Boston has enough offense. It was their pitching, their starting pitching, that they were worried about. So if everything stays in line with what has happened early on, of course, there's a lot of games to be played.
Todd Nixon now the batter. That, by the way, was Hideo Nomo's second no-hitter in a relatively short time, only 6 years in the major leagues. Rookie of the year for the Los Angeles Dodgers back in 1995. Pitched the first no-hitter at Coors Field in '97.
I truly believe, partner, that the high strike zone this year has helped Nomo more than anybody else, because
guys like Nomo,
he uses that high fastball more than anybody to set up the split-fingered fastball that's really diving on him right at this present time. But the high strike, I think, has really helped him out.
It's going to help a guy like Nomo. It's going to help a guy like Roger Clemens.
Right.
Fastball strike right there, a high fastball. It's 1-1 to Trot Nixon. Bottom of 3, first to 4. And then these two teams will tee it up again next weekend at Yankee Stadium for a 3-game set, just inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. How great is that? Pedro Martinez and Roger Clemens tomorrow, and then next Friday at Yankee Stadium, in all probability, it will be Pete and Raj again. The Pete and Raj show.
And it will be a good show. I'm glad I'm going to be here.
2-2 to Nixon. We'll carry both of those games on Fox 5. We have the game tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We're on the air again on Sunday, and then all 3 games next weekend.
Not a ticket to be had, obviously, between when the Yankees come to town. I mean, the place is sold out. All 4 games are totally sold out here at Fenway. And probably will be the same way at Yankee Stadium. Normally it is.
This one fouled away. 2-2 to Trot Nixon. The possibility, I'm alerted by the truck, that Clemens and Martinez may face one another next Friday. It's also a possibility But they may pitch on Thursday since that'll be the 5th day. Still 2-2 to Trot Nixon with the Yankees on top 1-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd.
I was talking to Stottlemyre before today's ball game, asking him about that pitch count. You know, when El Duque started at Yankee Stadium, because there was some thought about him throwing 70 to 80 pitches, no more than 80. He threw 91, and he said he just felt good. But I said, well, what about this time here? Is he sore, or was there any problem? He said no problem. In fact, I think he'll be helped by that additional day's rest that he got with the off day.
Low, it squirts through Posada. Full count now to Trot Nixon. 1 out, nobody on. Here at Fenway Park. Bobby mentioned the oldest ballpark in baseball, and it certainly is that. Rubbed off the front page of the Boston Globe in 1912 because the sinking of the Titanic. Still 3-2 to Nixon. Speaking of that date, this week in Yankee history, April 11, 1912, the pinstripes first appeared on the New York Highlanders uniform. No pinstripes on the road uniforms of the Yankees this day and age. And a foul tip, so Nixon stays alive.
Well, we've seen Fenway Park. I have many games. There's just so many memories here that Yankee fans, Yankee players have gone through here. You start with the Babe Ruth trade, you know, by the Red Sox to the Yankees, and you can just go on from there. And this rivalry has just been strong for many, many years, and will continue to be that way.
Fouled away.
One of the best rivalries in all of baseball, obviously.
Cardinals and Cubs, another good rivalry. The Dodgers and Giants, a lesser rivalry. But I'd say Cardinals and Cubs, Yankees and Red Sox.
You know, when you talk about rivalries, sometimes there's those vicious rivalries, you know, and I think this is kind of a vicious rivalry.
So is the Cardinals and Cubs.
Yeah, the Cardinals and the Cubs, they have no love lost for each other either.
When you get the fans involved.
Yeah.
I'd have to say slight edge, Yankees and Red Sox, however. A good at bat by Trot Nixon as he trots to first with 1 out. Folks, this copyrighted telecast is authorized under rights granted by the New York Yankees solely for private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Yankees and WNYW Fox 5 is prohibited. With Bobby Mercer, Tim McCarver, as we see Jose Offerman, the second baseman, the batter with 1 on, 1 out. 1-0 Yankees. There goes the runner. A little looper into left field. Knobloch on, and it bounces in front of him. Nixon had taken off with the crack of the bat. Offerman with the delayed swing. The ball dumping in front of Knobloch. Had Nixon kept going, he ends up on third base.
Yeah, the ball is off the end of the bat from Offerman, and the wind blowing from left field to right field held that ball up. Otherwise, I think Chuck, when he first started, he thought he could catch it, and then the ball just died on him.
We talked about that wind earlier, Bobby, and that is an excellent point. I think that wind was the difference between a base hit then
and a double play,
and perhaps a double play. Keep in mind, Derek Jeter was covering. That's a ball that Jeter often will go out and catch when it's that close to the infield, but because he was covering, the ball was allowed to hit in front of Knobloch.
Good point.
And here's Carl Everett. Everett walked his first at bat, and the breaking ball lined to Soriano. Had Soriano gone to second, he has the sure out as Nixon bit, trying to get that good jump over there. As it stands, a line out by Everett, 2 away.
Oh, that ball just turned Soriano all the way around, and he just didn't see it. He was looking, watch when he turned around here. If he looks at second right there, they're going to double Nixon off at second base. But his thought once he got turned all the way around was to go back to Martinez at first. Watch the runner at second. He is a dead duck there if Soriano throws back to Jeter.
So the middle infield very much involved in this inning. Soriano electing to go to first. And there was no throw. Had he gone to second, the Yankees are out of the inning. And Derek Jeter covering with Trot Nixon running. And here's Manny Ramirez. So the Red Sox still alive here in the third. Ball one. Well, here's what we were talking about with Nixon running. Look at Derek Jeter, who is covering on the play. Normally, Jeter would make that play on a ball that drops in front of Knobloch. But because he was covering, that allowed a base hit to Offerman. So lots happening around the middle of the infield here, but yet the Red Sox haven't scored yet. 1 ball, no strikes to Ramirez.
Yeah, and it looked like it was a hit and run put on by Jimmy Williams, so he catches Jeter covering at second base. When you don't have a whole lot of speed, you will do a lot more hitting and running, or running and hitting. But this is the situation for which they got Manny Ramirez.
Outside, 2 balls, no strikes now to Ramirez. 1 home run on the year.
Very dangerous hitter. Not only is Ramirez, as Stottlemyre knows, and all this pitching staff knows of the Yankees, he hits for a high average, along with all that great power that he produces. Manny hit 358, I think, last year.
Pitch to hit, and it's fouled off. 2 balls and a strike. Ramirez has had a fast start, but he still says he's not comfortable at the plate.
Yeah, he's been fighting, a hamstring injury. That's the reason he's out in the outfield. You can see that ball low and away, and he was right on it, just swung underneath it. But hampered by a sore hamstring, so Jimmy Williams has held him as the designated hitter, and he hasn't played the field in a long time. Sometimes those hamstrings get so darn sore that they even bother you when you make your stride. Sure. You don't stride properly.
His left hamstring that's bothering him. And a foul ball. So a big key pitch right there for El Duque. It is 2 balls and 2 strikes with Troy O'Leary on deck. Two on, 2 out, 1-0 New York. First of 4 here at Fenway, and the first of 19 during the season.
Talked about Ramirez and his high average overall during the year. He only has hit .235 against El Duque during his career, but he's got 3 home runs.
3 of the 4 hits, home runs. A low ball hitter against a high ball pitcher. Nixon on at second base, Offerman on at first. Two strikes, 2 outs will give the runner on at second base, Nixon, an extra step or 2. Just outside, 3-2. Key pitch right there, buddy, because now on a short double, Offerman could score.
Well, they worked it inside with that hard stuff, and then he tried to paint the corner outside. Didn't get the call. In fact, he wasn't even close, but hoping that Ramirez would swing at a ball pitch.
Got him on strikes. The Yankees hopeful that Ramirez hamstring heals in about 10 days. That's when the first plateau will be through. 1-0 Yankees.
Legendary Jeep vehicles continue to receive more and more and more awards. Now it's time to reward you with the Jeep Rewards program. For a limited time, you can get 0.9% APR financing or a $2,000 cash allowance on both Jeep Grand Cherokee and Cherokee. So reward yourself today. Drive home one of our award winners. It's better than taking home a trophy. See your Jeep dealer today.
Come on! I'm not using my minute. I'm not using my minute. You brought her. I am not wasting my daytime minutes on Little Miss Octopus. Use your minute. I refuse to call. Why? So you can save him to call your cheesy boyfriend? Cheesy?
VoiceStream gives you the most whenever minutes, so you can talk about whatever you want, whenever you want.
500 whenever minutes, only from VoiceStream. Looks like the VoiceStream challenge is on.
The New York Lotto jackpot is now $12 million. Most people don't realize just how much that is. $12 million. Well, let me tell you, it's a ton of money.
The New York Lotto jackpot is now $12 million. Play today.
When I drive with this little guy, I drive with confidence because I trust my brakes to Meineke.
At Meineke, you'll get a lot, but you won't pay a lot.
Yankees highlights and more.
Join us for the Fox 5 10 o'clock news.
Tonight. Good ball game so far here at Fenway Park. 1-0 Yankees here in the top of the fourth inning, and Jorge Posada leads it off. Jorge flied to right his first at bat. Jorge leading the American League in RBIs with 14 as we take a look at our Honda batting leaders. Yankees with 10 home runs back in '99. Most games with a home run at the start of the season. The Yankees have 9 now. That's if they homer in this game, they will tie their own record. The team with the most home runs at the beginning of the season, the Chicago Cubs, back in 1954, they opened the season with a 13-game streak of home runs. 2 balls and a strike to Posada.
And the guy with the most home runs on this Yankee ball club is Posada with 4, including his first grand slam ever.
How about the offensive numbers this week by New York? 16 runs against the Blue Jays to salvage at game 3 of the Blue Jays series, then 13 against the Royals on Monday, and then 9 and then 8.
What they're batting with runners in scoring position, 453. They'd like to keep that up for the whole year. Jorge tried the old trick with the stiff back. Of course, when you go on the road, you don't really know what kind of bed you're going to get. Sometimes you get a hard bed, sometimes you get a soft bed, sometimes you don't get any beds, and that's kind of where I'm at here in Boston. But he slept on the floor in Kansas City, hoping that would help ease some of the pain on the back.
Ground ball toward first. Nice play, Dahlbeck. To Crawford covering. 1 out here in the 4th on a fine play by a first baseman not known for his defense.
Yeah, he's not known for his agility. Not known for his range around first base, but we've seen Dahlbeck make a couple of nice plays, including taking this what would probably have been a double away from Posada. Nothing that makes a pitcher happier than to see plays like that behind him.
Tino Martinez, the batter, here in the 4th inning with 1 on, nobody out. The fastball is low. And remind me to not be informed of the hotel at which you are staying here in Boston.
I'm not.
Man without a bed, poor thing. Fastball is high. 2 balls and no strikes to Tino.
Check my eyes out.
Bad bulbs
Swollen.
tonight, huh?
Yeah, swollen.
Yeah.
But I don't have a bad back.
Fly ball, left field. O'Leary can't get to it. He ran out of room. 2 balls and a strike to Tino Martinez. For the latest and late-breaking news, plus Yankee post-game highlights, interviews, and more, watch John Rowland and Rossano Scotto on the Fox 5 10 o'clock news tonight, following our broadcast. Change-up and a beauty right there, and a fastball count. Martinez got a change-up. 2-2 to Tino.
And the changeup is designed to keep the hitter off balance. Look, you can see where Tino was. He was already spent. The knees were bent. There's no way he could swing at it.
Well, that was a great illustration. Exactly what you said. Fastball is high and away, 3-2. Martinez had the stride. The right foot was planted, and then the ball came in.
Just not enough guys in baseball today that can blow the ball by the hitters. I'm talking about with
fly ball, deep left field. O'Leary over near the wall, and that wind held that ball up. That ball is at least off the wall in most days, however, 2 away.
You are absolutely right. With the wind blowing from left field to right field, that ball would have been off the wall. You got to give O'Leary a lot of credit, too, because he played it perfectly. Tino thought he got enough of it any other day, but today that ball would have been high off the green monster in left field. And Tino's going for 2. And then he can't believe O'Leary catches it.
Tino, I guarantee you, talk to Tino tomorrow, he'll say that he thought the ball was against the wall. Normally it would be. Here's Michael Coleman. Fastball outside from Crawford. Slider, 1-1 to Coleman. Paxton Crawford, only 24 years old, is wearing the Boston record on his back. The Red Sox are 6-3. That's a number that was doled out to the youngster. But if he keeps pitching like this, and he looks to be a keeper, he's going to have a lower number in no time.
In no time. And that's what they have liked about Crawford. And the first time that he came to the majors out of AA ball was Joe Kerrigan said, I couldn't believe the poise that he had and the control that he had with his pitches.
Ball and 2 strikes to Coleman. Fouls this one back, still 1-2 to Michael. Soriano on deck. 1-0 Yankees here in the 4th.
The biggest thing for young players when they first arrive is to feel comfortable.
2-2 to Coleman.
Some guys have different personalities where they, a lot of things just don't bother them. In fact, they expected to be here. They wanted to be here. And a lot of the guys, when they first arrive onto the scenes, it's like headlights into a deer's eyes.
Still 2-2 to Michael.
And you'll see guys that come up that have a lot of ability and played well in the minor leagues, and then all of a sudden they're not even playing halfway close to the way they could play, simply because they're not comfortable. But when they do finally settle in and realize that they belong here, they usually take off.
Still 2-2 to Coleman. It's easy to say that major league players put their pants on the same as you do, but it's tough to believe that if you're a young pitcher or a young outfielder or an infielder.
I know when I first came up, I felt comfortable at shortstop, but the Yankees didn't feel that comfortable with me at short.
Ground ball towards short. Mike Lansing throws out Michael Coleman as the Yankees, for the first time in this ball game, go in order. However, after 3.5, 1-0 New York.
Just imagine. The all-new Civic from Honda is the only car in its class to achieve a 5-star safety rating in every category. Amazing, but true. The all-new Civic, part of the Special Value Collection, now at your Honda dealer.
Take it from a company who's always loved this game, who manages the assets of Major League clubs and finances everything from the making of baseball gloves to the building of stadiums, and who last season became the official sponsor of Major League Baseball. There is nothing like the first time you make it to the majors.
Jerry's show is on the air, and everyone's watching.
Oh, he's horrible, horrible.
What a sellout. Give me that remote.
How could anyone not like him?
On the next Seinfeld.
Tonight at 11 on Fox 5.
Performance. Safety. Pick 2. The Lincoln LS, named a best pick by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. And Lincoln Navigator, the only full-size luxury SUV with the government's highest double 5-star safety rating. Both with complimentary maintenance from Lincoln. Now lease Lincoln LS for just $429 a month with $35.27 cash due at signing. Performance. Safety. Value. Pick 3. At your Lincoln dealer.
Ernest Hemingway was a great baseball fan, and if he were here, perhaps be inspired to write a book called The Sun Also Rises. And it also sets, too, and that's what it's doing here at Fenway Park. And we'll take a look at the Dodge Trivia quiz of the evening. Which pitcher or catcher have the longest current consecutive starts streak together? I'll rephrase that. Which pitcher, catcher, battery have the longest current consecutive starts streak together? Clay Bellinger has entered the ball game and is playing center field. To our knowledge, Michael Coleman, there's nothing wrong with Michael. It's too early to make a defensive shift. So we will see. Grounded out to short his last at bat. Knobloch remains in left. And the Yankee lead remains 1-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. It's Troy O'Leary, who lined out to short his first at bat, steps up. Outside and high to O'Leary. Here's Coleman running that ball out. We'll have that after this pitch to O'Leary. And there's a strike, 1-1 to O'Leary.
Well, he's right there. Oops, he pulled up. That is a clear sign that something happened to the hamstring.
Off the glove of Brocious. So O'Leary, with the third Red Sox hit, leads it off here in the fourth inning with a single to left.
Well, nice play or effort by Brocious. But Troy O'Leary has been one of the hottest hitters after getting off to that tremendously slow start. Jimmy Williams has stayed a long time with O'Leary. Dante Bichette thought that he should be playing a little bit in the outfield. And even though O'Leary was in that slump, Jimmy Williams had plenty of confidence in him, and he has come through.
Scott Hatteberg is the catcher. He singled his first at bat. And he takes strike one. 0-1 to Scott Hatteberg here in the fourth inning. 1-0 Yankees. First to 4. Clemens and Martinez tomorrow. And just think, unless Bernie Williams shows up, his father very sick in Puerto Rico. He is at his dad's bedside. Michael Coleman, the chance of him being hurt. We could see Clay Bellinger in the game tomorrow as Posada takes one off the left forearm.
Clearly, Coleman pulled up as if he hurt his hamstring, and it appeared to be the right hamstring. Now, this right here was a glance off of the left, right up against the left elbow of Posada, so he's trying to shake it off. You guys, I'll tell you what, behind the plate, we're talking about injuries. We want to update you on Shane Spencer as he continues his rehab back to the big leagues. He completed his extended spring training yesterday and will join Columbus, the AAA affiliate of the Yankees, this weekend. Well, there's Steve Donahue, the assistant trainer. We don't see Gene Monahan, the head trainer. We certainly don't see Michael Coleman, so they're probably in the clubhouse attending to maybe that pulled hamstring.
0-2 to Hatteberg, and he takes outside and high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You may remember Shane Spencer And the Yankees were playing the Mets at Shea Stadium last year when Shane hurt that knee. He missed the season. Knee surgery during the offseason. Actually last July, late July. Fly ball center field, easy for Clay Bellinger. First chance, one out here in the 4th inning as O'Leary retreats to first. New York Yankees baseball on Fox 5 is brought to you in part by General Motors, by Continental. Being on time shouldn't be a perk. Continental Airlines, work hard, fly right. And by the Odyssey minivan from Honda. Mercer McCarver from Fenway. That's concise enough, isn't it?
I was 3 hours late coming into Boston last night, but I wasn't on Continental. Should have been.
Yeah. Hang with him, partner. Shea Hillenbrand, the fine third baseman of the Red Sox. Well, we talked about your hotel room that has no bed, and now your 3-hour late flight. Is there anything else personal that you'd like to share with the New York audience?
Later on. I need to talk to you about something.
Breaking ball in for a strike, 0-1 to Hillenbrand.
You know, Shea Hillenbrand came up as a catcher in the organization, and he tore his ACL, such as what happened to Shane Spencer with the Yankees, and from that point on, he didn't squat behind home plate anymore. He found himself at third base.
Way outside to Shea. It's 1-1 to Hillenbrand. Signed as a catcher. Then they moved him to shortstop after the knee injury. As you see Brian Daubach on deck. He's played the outfield. They hope he settles in at third base. He made 33 errors at shortstop 5 years ago when he broke in. That was in about 65 games. 33 errors. But when you talk about Shea right now, he is a young hitter that's adapting defensively to third base. 2 balls and a strike, and anybody in baseball will tell you that that is a tough thing to do here at Fenway Park and in Boston. Really any place in the Northeast corridor.
But what an opportunity for the young man, too, with Valentin down, and a lot of times that's the way you find out what your farm system has, is when you have an injury and you're forced to put somebody in there that's just kind of on the brink of breaking into the big leagues. What a situation, good situation to put Jimmy Williams in, though.
Well, the Red Sox, after Valentin went down 2 years ago, they tried young Wilton Veras, who looked like a good-looking player. Veras hit .287 and a handful of at-bats. That first year he was with the team. And then last year, he did not endear himself to Jimmy Williams, fell off offensively. So now Hillenbrand gets the shot.
And another thing that's happened, what you talked about, is so positive. And Clay Bellinger, what a student now of being able to play so many different positions. It just puts another notch in your belt when you can do that, like Hillenbrand has done.
Foul back 2-2 now to Shea Hillenbrand. Our Tri-State Ford scoreboard, obviously Sky Dome, the movable feast that turned into a debacle the other day at Sky Dome, was fixed. Part of the roof fell off, landed in the outfield. No one thankfully was hurt. Toronto winning their game against Kansas City 2-1. Still 2-2 to Hillenbrand.
You know that Hillenbrand also had a chance to play professional soccer in Europe.
Quick feet.
Heck of a soccer player. So based on that and the quick feet you're talking about, he should be a pretty good third baseman, I would think. At least with his movement over there and his range.
Popped up right side. Soriano giving chase. Paul O'Neill now in. There are 2 outs. O'Leary led off this inning with a base hit. Then Hedberg flied to center, and Hillenbrand flied to right. And that'll bring up Brian Daubach, the first baseman.
The reason right-handed hitters don't hit well against Del Duque is because he just keeps them off balance. They don't pick the ball up off of him. The rookie Hillenbrand, I mean, way out in front on it looked like a breaking ball that kind of hung a little bit, but because of the pitches that El Duque had thrown to him prior to that, set that pitch up.
Right-handed batters batting only 190 against El Duque last year. Left-handers, another story. Here's Daubach. Fouls it back, 0-1 to Brian Daubach, who is from the same hometown as Jimmy Connors, Belleville, Illinois.
I know one thing, he's got power to all parts of this field, and one of the things that Rick Down talked to him about, keep it simple. Don't make it so difficult when you go to home plate. Try to take an all-the-field attitude.
He does, and lines one in the right. O'Leary stops at second base as Daubach singles to right, and that'll bring up Mike Lansing.
What I mean by all the field attitude, when you're a hitter, don't just think one area. Think all the field. Think about hitting the ball if it's out over the plate or away, going to left field. Don't try to pull it, but if it's inside like that there, take advantage of that hole between first and second.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier how O'Neill has done it this year. Brocious and Martinez using all parts of the field in which to hit. You position yourself to handle any pitch, and that's really what Rick Down and Gary Denbo, the hitting instructors, talk about. Mike Lansing, the shortstop, flied to right his first at bat, and the slider outside and low.
Not too many Ted Williamses around. You know, Ted was a dead pull hitter, and they all knew it. And he still made them pay for it. There's Rick Down, the Yankee organization in 1989. Both ball clubs with new hitting instructors.
Low and away, 2-0 to Mike Lansing. 1-0, Yankees on top. Had a look at Gary Denbo. There's Gary. And there's Mike. 2-0 to Lansing. Fouled away. 2 balls and a strike to the Red Sox shortstop. You mentioned Ted Williams, Bobby. Ted's last home run in this ballpark, of course, against Jack Fisher. Remember John Updike writing an article saying that Ted Williams went around the bases like a feather caught in a vortex.
Ted, tall and lanky and lots of pop in his bat.
Never tipped his cap. Popped up, right side. El Duque has tipped his cap to the Red Sox fans tonight. For after 4, he and the Yankees have a 1-0 lead.
We knew we could save some money by refinancing.
But we never realized the possibilities.
If you're a homeowner and you call 1-800-CHAMPION, we're going to show you options you've never dreamed of.
They gave us a plan where we could pay off a bunch of bills